that gives me a chance to, like
That's
Charles was
good.
saying, it gives me a chance to actually think, you know, what is the outcome of this gonna be? If I indulge in this shit, what's gonna be the end result?
Play the tape all the way
Yeah,
through.
yeah. What's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be the end result? So I can make a decision from that point if I stop instead of just reacting to it. Um, thankfully, I don't have too many situations in my life that I've had to like process that deeply. There's quite a few, but it's not just so many that it's broken me in half. But yeah, man, like dealing with things that surface again, is it gonna cause me harm? That's like the number one question I ask myself. Is this gonna cause me harm, or am I gonna harm myself?
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of gives me the answer that I need in that situation.
For sure.
Red, when you're faced with something like that, what is your response, and how does it make you feel?
I think there's a I think there's a perspective that comes with healing from, you know, things that have broken you, and moving forward in life. I think there's a perspective that you gain not only about the person or the relationship or whatever, but about yourself. You gain perspective about yourself to the negative and also to the positive.
Mm-hmm.
And
Awareness.
yes, not necessarily that you feel negatively about yourself, but you see your weaknesses and you see your triggers in a different perspective once you've healed through something that hurt you. And so when you're in that process, or something specific has triggered you into the process of healing over a certain aspect of yourself, that thing is gonna come back around to test you. And it doesn't always show up in the form of the specific person, place, or thing that hurt you, but the test is the same nonetheless. So we have to be mindful, right? And I recently had an experience with something that was like, it was fresh. Something that I'm, ooh, I've healed from this. Oh God, it feels so good to be over this. And then boom, it shows up. And it's kind of like pulling a Band-Aid off of a scab that hasn't quite healed yet. So some of that skin and
So
some
it
of
was
that.
packaged differently.
It hurts just a little bit.
Yeah. It's still, so it's a part of the healing process I'm learning. It's like when you work out. I used to be a personal trainer, and I used to tell all my clients this story about picking a scab, because this is the way you're able to build your muscle, how you're able to cut, and you start to see, your horseshoe, and you start to see your quads pop and your glutes pop, and you see your abs start to pop out. It's a method called picking a scab. And when you cut yourself and you bleed and then the blood dries and then you get a scab, if you pick that scab, it's gonna have to go through that healing process again, except the scar is gonna be a little bit thicker. And if you pick that scab off again before it's completely healed, the scar is gonna get a little bit bigger and a little bit uglier. And if you pick that scab again, you keep doing it, your scar is gonna be a little bit bigger each time. And when you work out, that is how you cut and curve your muscles. Your muscles, when you lift weights, your muscles get little microscopic tears. And in the healing process, it's just like a scab. When you go and you work out again, those muscles tear again. And then that scarring starts to build. And that is the cut and the curve of the muscles, the rips that you see.
Wow.
And so is the healing process. As you heal certain aspects of yourself, the past has to show back up. That thing has to show back up in your life to check and see, are we really healed, or do we need to do this one more time and get a little bit stronger, so that each time that thing shows up in your life, it's that much easier to face it. And so now when it shows up, hey, motherfucker, I see you. What's up? I can dap you up. We can have a conversation.
Right
And I
past
don't
your
feel any kind of way about it now because I've built up my muscle in that particular area of my life. Now I'm strong and I can stand firm on my healing and my personal growth, my personal resolve, my boundaries without having to run and hide and go into hermit and, you know, have a whole moment where I have to check myself and I have to go take a step away to reset and I have to do all of these intentional things to, you know, get back on track because I've done that. I've done the healing process, and every time it showed back up, the parts of myself that I healed, I didn't have to go through that again. So as we begin to heal those parts of ourselves and that thing shows up, all of the old shit has fallen off. We're walking into new challenges and we're slaying those dragons so that we can build upon that.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask the question, and it's about what I shared. Is it that I identified an area in that I didn't heal? Is the reason why I felt that, a dis-ease? Or is it
Exactly.
or is it that I needed to be in that space and place and time to feel what I need to feel and identify that the feeling is real?
Well, if you still have to think about whether or not the feeling is real, then you still are working through the process, because our body, which is another thing that I would teach my clients, our body is going to tell us everything we need to know. We have something called fight or flight. It's built into our nervous system. And if you listen to your body, it will tell you what you need to do. If you're hungry, your stomach's going to growl. If you're nervous or you're afraid, there's danger nearby. If you feel tingly in your stomach or you get butterflies or whatever it is, there's some kind of cause for alarm, whether good or bad. Those nervous flutters means that our senses are heightened. We're more aware. There's excitement around. We should be paying attention to what's going on around us. And so if you are faced with something that you are working through or you thought you had healed through, and you're faced with it and you get those butterflies, there's something there. There's something there that still needs to be addressed. It's the healing process. Until you're able to face that lion dead on with no fear, you haven't completely slayed that dragon. You know, you have to be able to see the things that used to cause alarm in your life, that used to handicap you or destabilize you. You have to be able to look those things head on and walk right past them. I used to be deathly afraid of dogs. Puppies. When I was a kid, oh my God, that wet nose, or if they lick me, I am going to have a fucking meltdown. I was so afraid of dogs. Then when I was in kindergarten, my mom got bit by a pit bull. This man sicked his dog on her, which further made me more afraid of dogs. Into my adulthood, I did not like animals. I didn't play like that about dogs. But eventually, I faced my fear because my baby girl wanted a dog. And I had been in prison and I felt like I needed to do something for her, you know, that was special. And so I bought her a dog, as much as I hate dogs. But I faced that fear and I grew to love that dog. Who'd have ever thunk it? Like me, scared, would not get down off the couch, put my feet down around an animal. Like, no. Now I love animals. Oh my God, I can't believe I even said that out of my mouth. But it was a fear that I faced for one reason or another. This just happened to be because of my baby. So yeah,
That's nice.
You got to be able to face shit with no fear and keep facing it until you're not afraid anymore, because there's going to come a bigger giant and you're going to have a little bit more strength to face that bigger giant. So until you beat this mid-sized giant, you're not going to be prepared to beat the big one.
Yeah, so you got to make sure that you got to be geared up with your armor and everything, and all your weapons and all your tools.
Church ain't always on
Never
Sunday.
Hey, we're going to listen to a little bit of music, and then we're going to come back and sprinkle you with these golden nuggets.
Sprinkle me,
We'll be
man.
right back.
Hey, y'all. Dang. Uncomfortable silence.
This is a good part of the show where we give our golden nugget, and and just let you know that we're thinking about you. So we're gonna just share something that's from our thoughts and our mind. It could be from the show today, or what's going on in our life, or just something off the top of our heads, just to enlighten you and inspire you. And Jay, we'll start with you today.
Man, I thought about it during the break. It's hands down, it would be mental health. If you're struggling with your mental health, don't sit in silence. Don't isolate. That's the worst thing you can do. Talk to somebody. If it's just one person, just talk to somebody. Seek some help. If you need to go get help, get help. But it's out there and it's available. You don't have to suffer in silence. So yeah, it's the mental health. Check on your people too.
Yeah.
Those people you haven't talked to that struggle with mental health or those kinds of things, man. Reach out to people. Talk to people and check in on your people, man, and make sure they're good.
Sure. Yeah, that's good.
Red,
Blue.
January.
February.
Mhm.
Um. Y'all know I'm goofy.
March, April, May, and June.
That period, all the months. I would definitely have to say something that has resonated with me that I have definitely been sitting with this week is to maintain your boundaries. Don't forget the blood, sweat, and tears that you put into you. Don't forget the times that nobody else was shooting in the gym with you.
Mm-hmm.
You was in there doing them drills by yourself. You were investing in yourself because you wanted to heal your heart because you had had enough of enough of enough. And when you are faced with the things that you thought you had healed from, you have to remember that cycles will repeat if you don't stand firm on your decision to move forward and leave things where they had you fucked up at. Yeah. Period, straight like that. Don't forget the pain that you felt and how you cried and how you fought through and how you wiped your tears and straightened your collar and showed up where you were required to show up as if nothing was wrong, but inside you were reeling. You were racked with pain. You know what I'm saying? Like, we go through these things. This is a real part of life. This is a real part of growth, development, maturity, and coming into yourself. Don't forget what the funk it felt like so that when you second guess yourself, you can remember that you are the most important part of your day. You are the most integral part of your world. You are the nucleus of your universe. And as long as your star shines bright, your universe will thrive. Focus on you and leave people where they had you. Funk that bad. Love you. Bye.